introducing America's #1 leading prophet and regular good guy, Stern, king of the universe and profoundly the one we want. Let's hear it for Stern now. Give him a big applause. Big round of applause. Silence, you fool! How dare you play such obscenity in the name of Stern? Stern, king of the universe, knower of all, omnipresent, omnificial, omni-everywhere. Many have said, who is Stern? Yeah. What right? What right? Silence! Silence, beggars! Silence! Many have said, who is Stern?
Who is Stern?
How dare they even ask that question? But I know these simple things out in the audience. I will strike them down. I will attack the unknown attacker. Yes, this is true. Now Stern will say more.
Now, can someone tell me why in 1975 we pulled our troops out of Vietnam?
The failure of Vietnamization to impart their support caused an ongoing erosion of confidence in the various American but illegal Saigon regimes.
Is she right? Because I know that's the popular version of what went on there, and a lot of people like to believe that. I wish I could, but I was there. I wasn't here in the classroom, hoping I was right, thinking about it. I was up to my knees in rice paddies with guns, and then we're going up against Charlie, slugging it out with him. Well, like you, we're back here partying, putting headbands on, doing drugs, listening to the damn Beatle albums.
Hey, Professor, take it easy, will you? I mean, these kids, they were in grade school at the time. And me, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover.
Well, I didn't know you wanted to get involved with the discussion, Mr. Helper. But since you want to help, maybe you can help me, okay? You remember that thing we had about 30 years ago called that Korean conflict? Yeah, where we failed to achieve victory. How come we didn't cross the 38th parallel and push those rice eaters back to the Great Wall of China and take the brick and do them back into the Stone Age River? How come? Tell me why? Say it! Say it!
All right, I'll say it. Because Truman was too much of a wimp to let MacArthur go in there and blow out those commie bastards.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Oh, good teacher. He really seems to care. About what, I have no idea.
No. Come on. You set a baby in the cradle. You go big ass like a racket skins, make a bottle roast fan and make a bottle. He's just no more. He's no more younger or older than I am.
Get the orgasm lady. Maybe we should play the orgasm lady first.
I don't know. This gay guy was incredible.
This is a great call. Okay, here we go. Everybody's been waiting for these best of tapes. I've been granted a reprieve from NBC for the week. We still have Monday to play more tapes. Don't get nervous.
That's right. This is not the last day.
This guy used to call me all the time, and he was always angry and upset.
Yeah, every time he called, he had an issue, a topic that he had gotten very upset about.
In fact, we don't get good hate calls like this anymore because everybody loves us.
Now, I'm not sure if it's mentioned at the very beginning.
Or we hang up on the people who hate us.
I'm not sure if it's mentioned at the very beginning, but we had done a bit, I think, the day before about Harvey Milk High School.
Right.
And that's his problem on this particular call.
Okay.
Oh, I wish we had that bit.
Harvey Milk was the guy who was in San Francisco, he was a mayor, he was a gay mayor.
No, he was on the board of something or other. He was not the mayor.
That's right, Feinstein was.
Yeah.
Okay. And he was on the board of something or other, and he got killed, but the thing was, he was gay.
Right. He was the first gay commissioner. He was a commissioner in San Francisco.
And if you made fun of anybody gay, this guy went nuts.
Well, the whole thing was they named that school after him here.
Harvey
Milk
High.
And he had like 5 gay people in this gay high school.
Yeah. It was like, they were having, I think Mayor Koch appointed a gay high school also around that time when we were making fun of that.
Well, it was our gay high school. Right. It was the New York gay high school.
Yeah. It was great.
And these kids were sent there so they wouldn't get beat up in the regular high school.
Yeah, we thought that was real good. Like, what did they teach, you know? Bone smuggling 101, you know? It's like Tushy Rumpus room for, so, I mean, you know, God knows what.
What was recess?
Well, I remember we were all pretty upset that there should not be a gay high school. Everybody would be like, well, what if there was just like a black high school, a Jewish high school, a white high school? You know what I'm saying? It was just ridiculous. Yeah. We say, hey, if you're gay, you're supposed to get beat up in school. That's what makes you a stronger person. You know what I mean? Not that we advocate that, but it just seems to be a way of life. Okay, now here we go. You can't hide forever is what we're saying. Let me congratulate this guy on Gay Week.
Okay.
Well, no, watch how I handle the gays. I'm a diplomat. Hi, is this my gay friend?
Yeah.
Hi. Now, you are one of the more militant gays, am I correct?
No.
Now, you've been calling the station all day. You've been calling the general manager and the program director.
That's right.
And I understand you demanded that they remove the happy gays.
Absolutely.
You know, I would have stopped playing it already, but you're making it such an issue that now I'm forced to play it again.
Yeah.
And you can. And what did our program director say when you told him you didn't want it on the air?
He said he was going to screen it.
He's going to screen it? He's going to screen it. He was jiving you, I think.
I don't think so.
Well, anyway, what gay coalition do you represent? What? New Jersey Gay Coalition? Wait, why am I not picking this guy up here? What is with the damn phone system?
I think he's got
Are
you on
you
a
talking
speakerphone.
directly into your phone?
Sir, do you have me on a speakerphone?
No, I don't.
All right, now I can hear you. You have a very soft voice. I couldn't hear you. Hello?
Hello.
Now, what are we going to do about this? If I played again, would you guys pick at me?
Something like that.
I can't believe you take offense.
Just the thing about Joseph Mengele off yesterday. Why can't they take this off?
Well, I don't think either one of those bits was offensive.
Yeah, you should be picketing them, not us.
Yeah, but you should be picketing NBC. I'm as upset about the Mengele bit as you are.
The hell you are.
Oh, I am?
Yes, we are. We're behind you.
You see?
I know, that's that idiot.
You poke fun at the Jews or the Catholics.
No.
NBC backs off, but it's all right to poke fun and burn the gays, isn't it?
No. You see, look.
No.
Look, this is what I'm saying. You are, there has not been one gay person complaining about this except for you.
No, that's where you're wrong. I was in touch with Gay Teachers Association.
Oh, you had them called too?
Association. No, I didn't get them to do anything.
Oh, you've been mounting a one-man campaign.
Mounting something.
Because I was wondering why the gay teachers and the gay physicians called. It was you who was behind them.
You're a disgrace to the human race.
Who's the gay teachers?
No, you are.
Oh, I am.
This man does bring up an interesting point, Howard. I was very much against them taking the Mengele bit off yesterday, just for this reason.
Yeah, me too.
Because now everybody...
I agree with him on that.
Yeah.
See, we agree.
Yeah. Let's not bang heads.
Yeah, we shouldn't bang heads on this issue. Now, let me say something here. Now, let me get this straight. You see, I don't like to be threatened. That's not fair. I didn't threaten you, and now you threaten me with a picket.
Well, don't play the bit anymore.
No, I gotta play it. I'm gonna be playing it.
You don't have to play it. You want to
This is
play
a
it.
free country.
You don't have to.
Free country.
It's so. That's right.
See, now this is coming to blows. No, come on, you guys. Stop it. Be quiet.
Be mature.
All right, here is my,
We're about to know him.
Be quiet, Al. I'm willing, I could actually negotiate a deal with you right now.
He doesn't have a bone to pick with you.
I don't really have a bone to pick with you, per se.
You're bending over backwards, Harry.
But I really think if you polled the gay community, you would find that they are behind me on this.
100%.
Yeah.
You're a pig, Stern. You're just a regular pig.
No, wait a second. I am saying that if you polled the gay community, you would find that they are for me.
No, they are not for you.
How do you know?
I know. Do you think anybody wants you coming on the air criticizing this classroom for gay students?
Listen, this is what I want to do, and this is what I am going to do. I am going to play the bit one more time. And I'm going to tell you why. I want everyone to decide for themselves if they think it's offensive.
And we'll do a poll.
And then we're going to poll the audience. Are you willing to accept that?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mr. Intolerance again.
Uh-huh. That doesn't smack of censorship to you?
Yes. Censorship?
Censorship?
Doesn't that smack of censorship to you?
Trying to choke us up, huh?
Or smack it, or censor.
Doesn't that? Hello?
No, it doesn't. Why do you feel it necessary to bother these kids? I mean, they have enough problems already with our other damn reporters.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Now, you got to keep clean language, sir. Let me say something here. If you're going to use bad language...
That's not bad language.
No, as the FCC has determined that using God's name in vain.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if you believe in God or not.
Of course not.
Do you?
Yeah.
You do. Now, let me say something here. You cannot use God's name in vain, I'm sorry, on this radio
Not
station.
on this station.
All right.
All right, that's fair?
All right.
I don't want to leave a bad taste in your mouth about this, but come on, you guys.
Down.
I'm saying,
conversation
why can't we... Now, let me discuss this with you. If you tell me this isn't fair, I won't do it. Why can't we play the bit and then poll everyone?
It's not fair. Because you're just doing it to keep poking fun at the gay community.
He wants to be polled.
Problems for these kids.
Big enough more than you can chew.
Well, let's see. If I play the bit, I risk a picket.
Yes.
Which could be very embarrassing.
Not to mention tacky.
But I feel, in all fairness, we should play the bit so that the audience could decide for themselves.
Yeah.
Which I think is fair.
Who's the general manager? Dale Parsons?
No.
General Franco.
Get Dale Parsons on the air. I'd like to speak with him.
All right, fine. Get Dale,
Get
Freddie.
Dale.
Get Dale. Okay. Who can we tell him the general manager is?
I want to see if he screened that damn thing.
Who is the Shippy Sales? Who's the general manager over W Light? Let him call him.
Oh,
hold on, we're getting Dale, all right?
General managers. What's that guy's name who did the editorial on us?
Oh, yeah. What's the name of the guy who runs the gay movie theater?
Oh, dear.
Well, yeah, Dale Parsons is the program director.
You know who we're talking about.
He's the program director.
Yeah, I am.
Crispo.
No,
I'm another scumbag like you if he lets you take that trash on the air.
Do you need the general manager's name?
Dale left. He's going to be coming back around 6:30.
Oh, Dale left, but he's coming back at 6:30. You want to talk to him at 6:30?
No.
Why?
Yes, the dentist appointment.
What?
I think he has a beautician appointment.
No, why can't you talk to him at 6:30? We'll get him on the air with you.
All right.
I mean, what's the big deal? And I'll delay playing the bit till 6:30.
All right.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah, I'll call back at 6:30.
Now, what happens at 6:30 if we play the bit? Then the pickets start when?
We'll let you know.
Oh, come on. I got to call the Post and the Daily News.
We need some immediate results.
Hey, this could be good for both of us, you know. You guys will get some attention, and I'll get some attention.
We are getting attention, and it's hurting us.
Come on, don't blow it.
Don't blow it here. I'm trying to help.
I'm trying to blow anything. You're a
What? Now.
You see, you keep using the name of God in vain, and I have to hit the dump button. Now, come on. I know that the gay community believes in God, and for you to be using God's name in vain repeatedly...
That's not helping.
Using the GD curse is very bad. Because right now you are representing all gays.
Huh?
You are representing all gays right now, and for you to be using the name of God like that, very bad.
I'll call you at 6:30.
He's calling us at 6:30.
All right. Or we'll call you, either way you want it.
All right.
All right. Take it easy. Oh, the name of the general manager. Hold on, I got it here. What's Andy's last name? Oh, give him John Rocco. John Rocco.
Yeah.
No, it is, really. Hold on a second. Bruce, what's your last name?
Leonard.
Seriously, you want his name? Are you gonna? But you won't call him, you promise?
I already spoke with him.
All right, his name is Bruce Leonard.
I already spoke with him. His name is Dale Parsons.
So that's the program
that's
director.
the program director.
No, you can speak to Dale at 6:30. I'll get him for you. He's at a dental appointment.
All right.
All right. I'm sorry.
Sorry you're so upset.
Well, if you took the bit off the air, I wouldn't be upset. Just don't play it. You're hurting us and you're hurting those kids.
I haven't left a bad taste in your mouth, have I? With this?
I think he's going to get emotional
Why do you
again.
feel it necessary, to make comments like this?
Like what?
Like I leave a bad taste in your mouth, but did you give me a
Hey, I had to dump out again. All right, we'll call you back at 6:30 when you calm down. You're way too emotional.
Getting a 12 head.
You're getting emotional now, and at 6:30 we'll resolve this thing once and for all right?
But we have to be civilized about this,
please.
though. We have to sit and talk.
You know, you're not making a very good case if you use foul language. All right?
There he goes again.
Well, there. But I'm saying you didn't screw up that bad. You're going to get another one. You're going to get a better girlfriend.
Yeah, and then you're in the office going, it's not so bad. She was nothing. She was garbage. You'll do better.
That's what I said. I was trying to make you feel better.
Oh, you made me feel so
And then he got mad at me more because I said that.
Yeah, because he's in love with the girl, now you're calling her garbage.
I don't really think she is garbage. I just was trying to make him feel better. Want to be depressed? Look at Scott.
Oh.
There's a depressed guy. Anyway, it was ridiculous to get that upset about, and I wasn't saying anything that terrible.
Yeah, but you know what the point is? It wasn't even that. It wasn't even the subject. It said you knew you were upsetting me, and it just...
I couldn't believe that I was really upsetting you, to be honest.
It just fueled you to drive me crazier and crazier. And the crazier you got me, the happier you became, the more you did it.
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. I thought you were just kidding, because I can't believe anyone would be upset like that. I can't believe it. Be strong. Be a man.
You've never gotten upset.
Be a man. Gary, I used to get upset about girls when I was nobody. Now you got a little bit of fame. You could be able to parlay that into getting a woman. You're making 50 G's a year. You should be able to get a woman.
I'm not making 50 G's a year.
I was crying over women when I was in high school. I had nothing going for me. I had this face and I didn't have a radio show. You'd be crying over any woman who'd sleep with you too if you had this face and you couldn't get women. If I got a woman, it was a real prize. I had to work for it. And then they dumped me. Now then you got something to be depressed about. If I was in your situation now, I wouldn't be depressed.
And they didn't even have other guys when they did.
No, they just dumped me. They didn't have anybody to go to. And then they call you up a week later and say they found some guy with a big penis. How do you think I felt, okay? So, okay, I've had my share of hurt. I've been burned by women a lot, but I've built a wall up around myself.
Yeah, you got married.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So there you go. I'm impenetrable now. But you're like a baby. You're like some kind of baby with that. When do you go home and listen to Hall & Oates records and think about her? She's gone.
Oh, we should play that for Jerry today.
And she's a woman. Oh, come on. You think you lost Princess Caroline or something. God's sakes, the way you're carrying on. It's embarrassing. Grow up. God, you're 27, man. It's not like you were married or something. God, you're like a baby.
Gotta laugh.
You gotta laugh. You're ridiculous. And you're acting retarded with me. Stop it. It's not funny anymore. I was like, what is he, for real? And that's what you have to do is tell me stop it. I can't stop myself.
Yeah, that's the problem. It wasn't necessarily the subject matter. It's just that I'm supposed to be somebody who works for you. You're supposed to like me. And you were treating me...
I do like you. That's why I treated you that way.
Oh, yeah, you love me. I don't get... Explain that, if I may ask.
Because it was no big deal. You're acting like an idiot.
How does that... But wait a second. If you treated me like garbage on Friday, how does that let me know that you like me?
Who treated you... You see, but I don't think I treated you like garbage.
Well, what do you think you did then?
I think I treated you like a guy should treat another guy.
Oh, come on. You're out of your mind.
And Jackie's giving me this explanation. Oh, he's at a young age.
Jackie's explaining
Yeah, Jackie said he's at a young age and you ever been hurt by a woman. I said, young age? The guy's 27 years old.
It's about time he got some hurt.
Yeah. I was married 4 years already by the time I was 27 years old. What is he talking about, a young guy? Everyone thinks of you as like some kind of retard.
Grow
up.
What do you
Grow up. Women Let me tell you something. I'm not accepting it.
Why would you think people think of me as a retard, boss? Why would that be?
What? Because they think of you as like a 9-year-old.
Who paints that picture?
What, as a retard?
Yes.
Did you hear the Chernobyl cut this morning? Play Gary. I'll tell you who thinks of you as a retard. Play the Chernobyl cut. I'll tell you why we think of you as a retard.
I'm losing. How do you feel about opening Shoreham after the nuclear meltdown in Chernobyl in Russia? What? In Sheboyno. Huh? In Chernobyl in Russia. Excuse me? In Sheboyno. Huh? How do you feel about the opening of the Shoreham nuclear power plant in Long Island after what's going on in Russia in Sheboyno?
Sheboyno. Yeah, I mean, come on. Gotta mope over something important.
Like the fact
Tom Chisano not paying for my wife to go to London. All right? Yeah, well, you say, oh, boy, George was good to the guy. Meanwhile, the kid's tuchus is stretched more than Oprah Winfrey's panties, for God's sakes. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you say, oh, gee, George, what a good guy. He took some 13-year-old boy and stretched his tuchus. His tuchus!
Now, wait a minute.
All right, everyone calm down, will you?
Really?
Fine, whole roasted beans. You know what they say about beans? Beans. Good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart.
What?
The more you fart, the better you feel. So eat your beans with every meal. Oh, like you didn't know that. Anyway, what happened? The last minute they called you over to interview Robert Plant?
Yeah, like at about 5 o'clock last night, they said that we could go over there because the promotions department was complaining because he was on a whole bunch of other radio stations. Not as a guest, but just they were all getting back to interview him.
Oh, so we complained and we got to interview him.
Right.
Oh, good. Well, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool, man.
First I did a tape interview, and then he went live on the air with the Cope.
Yeah. I heard they had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Well, but, it's pretty hard because Robert Plant is from England, so it was like they were broadcasting from England.
I thought he was a pretty nice guy. He had a pretty decent sense of humor. One question.
Everybody in show business is a nice guy. Let me explain something to you.
No, that's not true.
Everybody in show business is a nice guy when the microphone is on. Remember that, my friend.
Well, there've been some people who haven't been that nice.
Well,
when the microphone is on.
Well, that's because they're such dicks they can't even hide it on mic.
Right.
But anyway.
Well, let me just say this. You were saying the other day that Robert Plant wasn't good-looking still. Oh. And he is very good-looking. I saw him not too long ago, right up close and personal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You saw him at a restaurant.
Yeah, and he's gorgeous.
I thought he was good-looking. I'm a guy.
Did you go for it?
He's a good-looking guy. He's got really cool clothes.
Yeah. Well, now he does. He started dressing like a real jerk-off.
Conservative,
Yeah, he started dressing conservative. He figured, hey, screw it, I would give.
I'm over 40.
He's got a pretty deep voice, actually. It's not that high. It's when he sings it gets pretty high. But he started dressing conservatively. He cut his hair real short. He looked like a jerk. And then all these other guys, like David Coverdale, he kind of thought because David Coverdale had long blonde hair, he was getting ripped off.
Well, yeah, he says that David Coverdale does a bad Led Zeppelin impression.
Did you bring that up?
Yeah, but he wouldn't talk about it. I didn't bring up David Coverdale's name. He in a lot of interviews, he calls him David Coverversion.
Oh, I see. Boy, he's bitter, huh?
I'm telling you.
A guy with all that money cares?
I couldn't understand because he brought it up. I read 5 interviews with him in different magazines, and every single one of them he's trashing David Coverdale. Then when I bring it up, he just skipped right over it.
Because you're a pain in the ass.
Why should he do that for you?
At one point, he tells me as much.
He tells you you're a pain in the ass?
To a degree.
Oh, good. Okay. You asked him a lot of annoying questions.
I only got 5 or 6 questions in because we were really in a rush, but they were good questions.
Good and annoying.
Good and annoying.
All right, good. You see, what are you on, tape 1 here?
No, tape 2.
Tape 2. Okay.
I work on the Howard Stern Show. I was at the Atlantic Show. I saw you on Saturday.
Did he have any idea what the Howard Stern Show was? None, right?
He claims that he did. After the interview, someone says, "You've heard of Howard Stern, right?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah," but I don't think he really knows.
Yeah, they wrote Kashmir about me. Either that or I think it was Black Dog they wrote about me.
Bustle in a hedgerow, isn't that you?
Yeah. I like to wear a hedgerow to work. And it's kind of a bustle getting here, isn't it?
I thought you were really good. Do you and Jimmy Page have...
No, Gary tells him, I thought you were really good.
Well, that must have impressed him.
Oh, he was very...
Thank you. Anyone remember a schmuck?
I'm reading off the cue cards. Do you and Jimmy Page have any plans to play together in the future?
Maybe. How many times has he been asked that?
I know, but, I had to start off.
Maybe. Maybe, you worm.
I had to lure him into a false sense of security. Right. That was just another dweeb.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometime soon in the future?
I don't think so, no. Not for, I don't know, he's got his tour coming up. I got mine. We get together now and again. We do a few bar mitzvahs.
What inspires you to say, does anybody remember laughter when you're singing Stairway to Heaven live? What inspired you to think of that?
I heard it on the record.
But what inspired you to say it on the record?
I have no idea, not the slightest idea. I think it's because a lot of people got real miserable and it was around.
You know what he said to Gary? He goes,
Does anyone remember hygiene? Does anyone remember brushing their teeth before they go to bed? Does anyone know the number of a good dentist? Get some new caps?
just kidding.
Yeah, these are new caps.
Who said, Gary Shandling did that bit.
What?
On the American Comedy Awards.
About caps?
About just kidding. Did he say that? He says, or maybe it was George Carlin. He says, you know, comedians always say just kidding after they say, like, why do you need to say? Because you know they mean it.
Yeah, it must have been Carlin because it wasn't Shandling.
Yeah, it was Carlin. That was a good bit. He was pretty funny on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stupid enough to believe you when you say it.
I'm just kidding. Everything, just kidding. You know, I'm just teasing. I was like, yeah, wait a second. The reason I'm saying it is because it's true.
From that time when people had a great preoccupation with excesses, myself included, and I suddenly came out of it all and went, wait a minute, you know, you can enjoy life too.
Is this about anyone remember laughing?
Yeah, still. He's still going on.
There's an answer to that dopey question? I mean, he actually has an answer for that?
I'm buying it, too.
Yeah, it sounds pretty... Yeah, you see, like, a lot of people... Wait, I better go back and listen to this.
It sounds pretty good.
Hey. I just thought it was something stupid that he said at a concert because everyone was stoned.
Yeah.
It was around that time when people had a great preoccupation with excesses, myself included, and I suddenly came out of it all and went, wait a minute, you know, you can enjoy life too, you know? So let's not make things so heavy. Let's just enjoy it a bit.
If you had a choice, would you...
That was wild.
Yeah, you probably said, well, I better give this wanker an answer.
I thought it was a pretty frivolous statement. Does anybody remember laughter?
Does anyone remember editing? That went on forever.
Well, he doesn't remember that.
Yeah, that's it.
Whether lose a limb or go on tour with Led Zeppelin for a year.
Would you rather lose a limb or go on tour with Led Zeppelin for a year?
Now, how stupid did you feel?
How bad did you feel
Not
doing
half
this?
as stupid as when he answered me.
Okay. So the question is...
Would you rather lose a limb or go on tour with Led Zeppelin for a year?
Okay.
I think it's a silly question.
What inspired...
What did he do? Like, look at you like you're an
that
idiot?
was the part where I thought he got a little angry. He was just like... Because the second question was almost...
Yeah,
almost a real question.
Yeah, why don't you ask me a serious question like, when are you going on tour?
Oh, boy.
He just looked at me like, what?
You were face to face.
I was really, we were standing next to each other face to face, and he looked me right in the eye like, what?
You deserve a raise for that.
I'm telling you, Gary.
To write Big Log.
What was the question?
What inspired you to write Big Log?
Oh, okay. I think you should have been more direct. Then he would have, like, killed you.
Don't worry, I'm getting to it.
Okay.
Sexual relationship.
Well, that was my second question. Is there a sexual meaning behind it?
Well, not Big Log itself. I would be bragging, but the song itself is a love song, and it's just the way I felt when I was driving along.
What are you guys doing? Playing Led Zeppelin music behind
We
you?
have K-Rock on because we're about to go live with the Cope, so I have to keep the radio on in case Cope breaks in and says he's ready. And it just so happened we were in a yesterday and today.
Oh, I see.
Robert
He must have
Plant
dug that. Big Log. I thought that was about going to the bathroom.
Oh.
Quite frankly, seriously, when I first heard it.
How do you feel about the rash of Robert Plant imitators that are kind of making money off of you these days?
Oh, here we go.
I think they're all wonderful, and I think the world of them.
Okay. Do people ever come up to you in restaurants and bars and ask and sing Stairway to Heaven to you or sing your songs to you?
Nope.
Never?
Nope.
Well, that's nice of them.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? And a lot of people don't even mention it anymore, except for people like yourself.
Oh, boy, Gary, I feel bad for you. You idiot.
What is our job in life? Just to annoy people?
It seems that way.
Just to be like the scum. We always want to be the scum of the earth.
I'm telling you.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now he was probably a lot nicer than I thought.
Yeah, I think he should have hauled off and slugged you.
Well, he's like being really sarcastic with you.
Oh, we're not done yet either.
Okay. I'm enjoying this.
Because it's not us.
Yeah.
What does a spring clean for the May Queen mean? We were listening to some of the lyrics of Stairway to Heaven, and we were curious about what some of them meant. Like, for instance, what does that mean?
And musicians hate when you ask them what something means. You know, if like Scott Muni says, you know, I was listening to the song, and one of the most unbelievable moments for me is when you say, is there a bustle in your head, Ro? Because that brings back so many memories. You know, he'll act like he'll know what it means, and then Robert Plant will talk about it. But, you know, more or less, Gary's saying, hey, you dick, what kind of lyric is that? Nobody knows what the hell you're talking about.
But, you know, the thing is, for him, this is like a 20-year-old song?
Right. And
he's like, forget it, I've had too many questions about it.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like, hey, man, I mean, everyone goes around treating this guy like he's some kind of god.
Well,
and then a guy comes in and starts just blatantly making fun of him, because you're making fun of him.
And unless you talk about him in that song, like you're deifying him, he like doesn't want to hear it. You have to talk about it like...
Right. Like, oh, man, when you did that, man.
Right. Like
was that divine inspiration, man? It's like, oh, come on. You know what he was doing? He was sitting around on the beach, probably got high, and sort of writing out some kooky lyrics.
Yeah, the devil was sitting there across the table.
Yeah, right. He was worshiping the devil.
I wasn't going to ask that one.
Did you ask him?
No way.
Mr. Plant, did you lose your son through Jimmy Page's devil worship?
All right, here's what I'm going to do to you. High voice or no high voice. I'm going to take you to Central Park, tie panties around your back. I'm going to kill you. I'm strangling you. We're going to play Robert Chambers and Jennifer Levin.
See, I would actually like us to get to the fisticuffs level. You know,
anybody remember asphyxiation?
Really?
Of course you want that, Robin. You don't ask the question. You guys always want me to get beat up.
No, it's not our ass.
I could have easily got my ass kicked by the Bee Gees on Saturday if I wanted to.
Really? What kind of man are you?
The lyrics of Stairway to Heaven, and we were curious about what some of them meant. Like, for instance, what does that mean?
Pass.
Okay, how about a bus?
What does it mean?
He said pass. He passed.
Pass?
He's passing on that question.
Next question.
What was it you asked him? I already forgot the question.
What is a bustle in your hedgerow?
Oh, okay.
No,
spring clean for the
May Queen.
Spring clean for the May Queen.
You didn't remember.
Oh, he remembered.
Pass. Pass, damn it.
On your hedgerow? Because the guy who worked for Howard doesn't know what a hedgerow is.
Well, he's got terrible problems then, hasn't he? I guess the hedgerow might be a cluster of old Mercury monarchs all in a row.
Oh, that's a good explanation. Mercury Monarchs. What is that, a car?
Yeah.
So one of the interns last night goes, I know what a hedgerow is. It's a big row of hedges. But he was serious.
No, really? A hedgerow. Yeah, if there's a bustle in your hedgerow, get a lawn clipper. This is the secret backward messages. We should ask him about backwards masking.
Going to seed. Okay. That's really the last question I have for you. That was it.
Anyway, good.
And then we went live to Cope.
Yeah, and that was a disaster, right?
That
because
was such a joke.
No one could hear Cope.
Oh, no.
Well, see, usually we had a wireless microphone. That worked great. But then Robert Plant has to monitor on something. So we had a Walkman. But since the Meadowlands is all cement, you couldn't pick up the station. So someone got a boom box, which is what you heard in the background. And then the second Cope came to us, the antenna like faded out. Like it all depended on where people stood in the room. If somebody walked 2 feet, you couldn't hear the signal anymore. So someone had to stand there and hold the antenna around.
That must have looked real good. Somebody holding an antenna on a boombox while Robert Plant is being interviewed.
Somebody's on the floor with this boombox, wailing this antenna around.
Yeah.
And Cope's going,
How come I never hear that on any other radio stations?
Well, actually, just so you know, every other radio station works like this, because I heard NEW did an interview the night before, and that guy said, well, I'd like to interview the rest of the band, but I can't point this microphone in any other direction.
Okay, good. So now I don't feel bad. All right, at least it happens to other people. All right, 931 92.3 K-Rock WYSP. Good job on that interview, Gary. Very proud of you.
Thanks, Moose.
And we'll be back right after this. And then Gary comes walking afterwards, and he goes, and he sits his ass right down in a chair when I'm meeting with Jackie about it. He goes, boss, you know what I think we should be doing for the ratings? And I said, Gary, That's not what we're talking about now. I want you to get up and get the hell out of my office.
That was funny.
Don't you ever sit down and ever tell me what you think I should do for ratings. If the day comes that I have to find out from you what to do about ratings...
What was my idea?
I'm in big trouble. Don't ever even come into my office and discuss ratings with me. You just remember one thing. I'm a genius, and you know nothing. All right?
Yes, boss.
All right, that's better.
He actually had a suggestion.
He didn't even have a suggestion. It was just that you wanted to be in on the discussion. You're a low bastard on the totem pole. You're the lowest of the low. Mitch is only lower than you. Don't come into my office and on a ratings discussion. The only reason Jackie was even in there on the discussion because he was the only one around. So anyway...